Set them aside, the two color pieces after you search the after you fuse the interfacing, you can set aside. Okay, as far as the interfacing, you have one piece of the color interfacing, right? Got it? There's two pieces to a color, but one of them is interface. Got it? Mm-hmm. Make a note. You have two cuffs. There's two sets of cuffs. One for the left and one for the right, right? So you have one with interfacing and one without. The under cuff is usually the one that is interfaced. The upper cuff is usually not interfaced. Because if you interface both of them, it becomes too bulky. Also, sometimes if the fabric is kind of see-through, you can use the side with the interfacing on the outside because it looks nicer. So, you know, that's a personal choice. It's not written in stone, okay? In tailoring, it's different. You cannot really play around like that. So, you have two sets of cuffs, and one is interfaced and one isn't. Okay, so these things we can set aside because we don't need them until a little bit later. We start with the also the front facing. The two front facings are interfaced, and make sure when you interface them that you have a left and a right. Watch out that you don't have two pieces facing in the same direction. See, you got one left and one right, okay? That's the inside of your, the inside is called a facing. So, and then as far as searching, you search the shoulder and you search the inner curve on your facing, okay? So I'm going to lay these out. You're going to search the back of the shirt, only the side seams, okay? Not the shoulder seams, not the hem. Just the side seams. Your front pieces, which is two pieces because you got this piece and then you got the side piece, which these two pieces is called the princess seam, okay? So, the princess, the side piece, not the armhole, not the hem, only the side seam, and then the center of the princess seam is serged. Okay?
What's the other piece that you just called right there?
Facing.
Okay.
That's your front facing.
So we gotta serge the curve too.
Yeah, and please don't cut the curve off. When we serge, remember what I taught you about the pockets? When you have a curve in something, you come in from the long end and you serge into the curve. Don't start with the big curve. If you start from here, it's going to be harder. If you come in from this end and then run off, you have an easier time searching the curve. Try not to cut the curve off. Again, the armhole and the hemline is not serged.
And what's that piece called?
That's the front side.
Front side? Okay.
Side piece. This, the center front piece, that's this one. Because these are all going to be closed up with other seams, you don't need to serge them. You only serge what becomes visible. So this seam, the inner curve on the princess seam is serged only, okay? So this piece, these, and you can look at them as I have them laying out here, okay? So, to start with, we're going to do the darts, the regular darts, the little shoulder darts, and then we're going to do the contour dart. Now, the contour dart is done just the same. These you already know. I don't have to demo those, right? Mm-hmm. Yes? You big girls now. Big guys. Big guys. Big guys. Okay, all right. And then the pocket, make sure when you search the pocket that you search each seam. Don't start like try to go around the corner and cut all the corners off. These, you got to keep the corners, because if you don't keep the corners, you're not going to get a cornered pocket. See, you need the corners for your lineup. So if you cut them off, you won't have any corners. Got that? So again, when you search, remember, we'll keep the plate close to the end of the, but we don't cut anything. We're not cutting anything. And then, of course, after you searched everything, you can press it and you can trim these tails off, because you won't need them. What I really want to do today is show you how to do the princess seam and the pocket. See, that's the big deal, is the pocket. The patch pocket. This is a patch pocket. Princess seam and the darts, and see, as you know, time goes by so fast. Do we have a holiday coming up? There is a holiday too on one day. Well, that's a Monday, right? So we won't be in school on Monday, so we lose a day. Okay, as far as the contour darts, you pin them just like the regular darts. And again, one of the things you need to learn is how to hold your work. Where does the biggest part of your work go when you sew?
On the outside.
It goes on the outside of the machine. So basically, you're always working from right to left, more or less. See, in here, just pick, that's why you trace, you find your points, and just pin them like that. You don't need to put a whole lot of pins, but you sort of have to move it around until you find the part. Now, with darts, in general, you don't backstitch, you see? Now, this dart, if you look in the book, it can be done in two ways. If you have a real tight fitting garment, you don't want to sew this all in one, because then actually you start past the middle, you sew, and then you start past the middle, and you sew that way. So you have in the middle, you got a double layer for, you know, to keep it nice and tight. For our purposes, because the garment is just a soft tailored, it's not really that tight. We'll just start from one end and end up on the other end. And we'll leave tails and tie them, okay? So, you just basically do this. You start one end. And again, when you do darts, you gotta make sure that you have a nice